Hello, I forgot to mention that last. Oh, for sake, you. Hello, I forgot to mention last time that this is going to be part of my GGBO community build along thing. Not part of the competition because it's just going along with it, really, isn't it? So, what am I doing? Because this just looks like a strat, doesn't it? So, the idea I've got is this is what I normally call my skybeam, which is a bit like a strat, but the cutaways are deeper. It's going to have different contouring and a glue-in neck that is contoured nicely. Anyway, I've been holding on to this 30-inch scale base neck, so that's the big difference here. And I'm delighted to say it does actually fit on the body. And in the last video, we cut the cavity out, cut the body out, roundovers and stuff like that. So in this video, I'm going to do a load more work to the body before I glue the neck in, because ever tried to work on a body with a neck on it? A guitar body. Anyway, yes. I've made sure, let's flip because this side of the phone is so much better. I need to put a mirror behind it so I can see myself. You vain. Anyway, yes, I've done a red line to show where the contour is going to go, and the bridge fits well within that, which also gives me confidence for going for an even longer neck. Yeah, I did make a list. So I think in this video we're just going to be working on the body, then glue the neck in. We're going to put some contours on, front and back. I need to make a new cavity holder fire. 1 second. So in there. Because I don't have one for this shape of pickup, which I believe is a Stingray sized pickup. But I went for it because I thought you could get both P-bass and jazz bass sounds out of it. We'll see how that turns out. So, cavity dug. I think I need to find a router bit that's just 1 centimetre thicker, longer, deeper. Because you always have to take the bloody thing off, and that's terrifying going around here. But I think I've got it to the right depth. Yeah. I don't know why I check that again. I've already done that. Okay, so using the template I always use, I've marked out where I want the bevels to go. And also, I'm going to do the one for the belly carve in the back. Now, I don't know if you remember the last episode. A chunk fell out here. I don't know how easy it is to see on camera. But I might have to extend the belly carve a bit to cover that. What was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy to remove as much material as possible from this because it's so heavy. But what I'm going to do first is just mark out this area and work from that. You may notice I haven't done the lip for the cavity here. I tend to not do that until I've finished sanding, because then the edges get all pillowy and soft. So yeah, I'll do that afterwards. So yes, let's get this bit cut out. So I've cut into it with a saw, just because that helps me See how far I've got to go when I start sanding. I probably will switch between Shinto rasp and a finger sander, depending on how things are going. Okay. But you can't really see the stomach calf, but I've never snapped one, let alone three, in one go. The glue that's holding this tape together just melted. And I presume, because this sapele is really hard, so I'm going to be super careful when I'm doing this neck calf later on. Anyway, let's get it turned over and do the other bits. So I was delighted with myself for the progress I made today. Got some awesome bevels and carves ready to go. Just need to sand it up to tidy it up. And oh my god, what have I done? That's not the template for the cavity cover, is it? Well, yes, that is the template for the cavity cover, not the template for the cavity. Cavity. So in my efforts to get this ready for Sunday, I think what I'm going to do is put some dowels around the hole to put screws into. Now I've got dowels that are this big, that's no go, and dowels that are this big, so I'm going to have to go for that one. But I'll burn that bridge when I come to it. What I need to do now is get the pickup cavity dug. Which relies on the neck being straight. Okay, let's just do that then. Got to think of a position for it now. Right, so I had said I was going to work on the body a bit more, but I thought let's get on with the neck. And it's not going to work because of the headstock on this pre-built neck is way too small. Another thing that's not going to work is I took measurements from my jazz base to get the holes perfectly in a line, which is good. I don't know if it looks aligned or not, but yeah, it is. It doesn't improve a thing, does it? But there's not the space on the headstock. Firstly, if I put this in here, they overlap, so I need to push them out a little bit further, which would then in turn push them off the end of the headstock. I mean, I'm quite happy to make another template and make it a bit longer, but I don't really want to add wood to the end of the headstock. So then I thought, can I go for some sort of 3-in-1 setup? But it's still a bit of a thick scrunch on there. I'm making up words on there. So I've just ordered some more smaller tuners. Now I was going to add some dots after the fact, but A, that's more work to do before Sunday, and secondly, I want to kind of keep the costs down on this one anyway, so I won't. Maybe after Sunday I might come back and add them, but that's that for now. So I think, despite having lots of things to do, I've got to find something to do. Well, I'll glue them in later, but that's almost like I meant it. I'm going to decide where this goes once I've drilled the wire through from the bridge, because I don't want to go through it. I'm jumping around a bit here, but got the neck ready before gluing. Just going to work out best position to put the pickup. So I've attached strings. Well, apologies for the disjointed nature of this one, but the postman has come to save the day and brought me some smaller tuners, which is good. Much smaller actually, so maybe I will redesign the headstock. But also a template for this pickup, so I don't have to make one, which is good. But first of all, I will back up the template onto this before I ruin it using it the first time, because that's happened before. Okay. Copy template, make cavity. Now the location I've chosen here was suggested to me by a guy whose name I've never said out loud before. Here we go. Borgonian Evolution, 9164. Anyway, he suggested that measure half the wavelength, and then half that again for a quarter, and then half that again for eighth. So because I can't concentrate for long enough, I've done that in Excel, and 26.25 inches is where it shall lay. Which actually, a quicker way to find that out would have been, because this is the 24th fret, and if I'd set one of these to the 30th inch place, would have been halfway between that exactly, I think. But you know what, that's fine. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if it was a 22 or 21 inch, 21 fret or 22 fret neck. Blah, blah, blah. Why is it vibrating? There we go. Right, I think, apart from a couple of areas of tear out, which I should sand out before, the body is done. Well, and obviously the neck joint. But I need the neck glued in before I do that. Before I do that, I need to sort out the headstock. So let's do that. And actually, we'll do that in the next video. Bye-bye.